She asked me, where did it happen? I'm like, that don't matter. Hey, yo. I'm like really starting to realize, I was sitting and realizing how crazy my life is. Like how many lives I feel like I've lived. Ooh, bun, get in your place. Anyways, so hey y'all. I'm alright. I'm feeling okay. I always feel good on when I got the all black on. I don't know what it is about the all black that's like, I don't know. All black makes me happy. Yes, I want to talk about not only necessarily how I lost my virginity, but the fact that my therapist told my mom that I lost my virginity. What's my therapist got to do with this? You feel me? That's what I know. That's what you're thinking. So we're gonna get into it. Is she on? She's on. Okay. Ooh. Hi guys, it's your lover, homie, and best friend, Vanity McKellen. Welcome. If you're new, welcome, of course. If you're not new, welcome back. But most importantly, if you are new, you don't know how things work around here, we love to do mental health check-ins. So let's take these next couple of seconds. Go ahead and give me 3 words to describe your mental health down in that what you call that shit? the comment section below. Do it now. Where put my phone at? Hold on. So, like I said, we're gonna talk about the fact that my mom found out that I lost my virginity. It's so insane to say. I'm so sorry. It's like, what are you talking about? How my mother found out I lost my virginity through my therapist. My therapist. Come on, let's go. You in for a ride? Okay. I'm out of coffee. Let's see how we're going to make it through the video. And I have no coffee. All right, so. All right, y'all. I'm going to say I lost my virginity when I was like 13, 14. Freshman in high school. Spring chicken just jump out there into the wild and just start just fucking up. Anyways. No. Don't do that. Kids, just, I'll give you some lessons at the end. But okay, lost my virginity high school, 13, 14 years old, freshman to a junior, I believe, the day before Valentine's Day. Okay, so if it wasn't the day before Valentine's Day, it was like the Friday, and then the Monday would have been the next. So business days, it was the day. It was, you feel me? So, but I'm almost sure it was whatever. That's kind of significant, but not really. So, met this guy, you feel me, in high school. Older than me on a football team, you know what I'm saying? Can have any girl you want, blah, blah, blah. I come in. I'm me. To the core, I feel like I'm kind of still that same person a little bit, where I don't just come in and start, well, I know how to command a room now, but I've always known how to do that. But I didn't come into high school all turned up. I thought people were stupid. I've been thinking people were childish and immature and stupid since I was in like middle school. And once I got to middle school, I was like, ooh, you're childish. I'm totally so mature for my age. And so I carried that little like, ugh, whatever, because it was probably something that happened in high school. I mean, not in high school, in middle school that made me, it is. It's a story. I can't do it. But so I walk in, I'm cool. Everybody's like, oh. And at that time, you know, contacts was popping. So I had in like the little greenish hazel contacts, and so people thought they were my real eyes. Dummies. Anyways, whatever. So it was like, oh, the new girl, oh my gosh. Because I don't know if this matters either, but I'm just gonna say I went to like a predominantly white school, like the kind that you, to me, that you see on like TV shows and stuff that actually exists with the cliques and stuff, except for I didn't witness any of it, but it wasn't like heavy on the bullying and stuff. It was just very, very diverse. So he's on the football team, so people really want him. Let's put it that way, especially skin folk, our community, because our community was smaller, but we was like, we set the tone anywhere we go. School, white school, we run that culture, y'all know. Y'all know. So whatever, boom. This is not something that he does. I'm special. He ended up, oh my gosh. I'm so sad, y'all. I guess he didn't really do that. Like, he wasn't really like on people's head like that. Like, girls would kind of go to him. So first day of school, I remember hearing about it. I remember this girl, shout out to her, I think her name was Victoria. This girl came up to me and she was like, oh, such and such said he wanna, talk to you, blah 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 blah, and all this other stuff. And I was like, not interested. Like, I'm not interested. He would just call me pretty eyes. Like, that was his thing. Like, everybody knew. Like, they'd be like, the really cute, no, not the new girl, the new Chrissy, because it was already a Chrissy there. And I was like, no, it's a new girl, Chrissy, blah blah blah, she's so cute, blah blah blah. So I was that girl, but I didn't really talk. So people were like confused. They didn't know if I was stuck up, or they thought that because it was a little section called Africa. High school, right in front of the principal's office. That is so crazy. So it was called Africa, where all the black people go. And the only time you would see like a other, it's kind of like you gotta be initiated into this club, not a gang. So it was like that. You had to be cool to be over there if you were a non-skin folk. And even the lame black people didn't go over there either, really. It was like the more popular people. This sounds terrible. Anyways, so that was that. So I didn't really go over there because, again, I think people are childish. And why is it called Africa? Obviously, I ended up being a part of it. So trust me, I'm not like, I'm so much better than. No, I felt I'm peer pressure, getting in with the gang, being cool. So why did I bring that up? Y'all know, bring me back in. Why did I bring up Africa in the first place? Don't remember, but I kept saying I wasn't interested. But he always called me pretty eyes, pretty eyes, pretty eyes, pretty eyes, pretty eyes. Next day, second day of school, y'all, same girl, kept talking to me like, oh, because I think she's calling like her bro. Like, oh, my bro, really, really, da-da-da, he like, da-da. I'm like, whatever. Because at that point, like, and I could tell very well, and I could tell based on just how now I still know some of the people. I speak to some people from high school, and what happens is you walk into it, and the girls, so you don't even try to get to know me. So the girls are either have this really big attitude because you see that the guys are like, she's cute, she's young, she's new, we've never seen her before, she wasn't here last year. And the it girls that were skin folk or black, whatever, they were probably also juniors and stuff. So the girls that were that girl were already older. So the guys had already been used to seeing them. So I'm new. So cool. So that's that. And he's still trying. This guy comes and sits next to me. We're at the front. I think, are we waiting to go? I can't remember where we're waiting to go home. Maybe. It was a big high school. So I'm on one side where like the office is. They were like all the way on the other side where the gym and stuff was. But they came and sat next to me. I think we was supposed to be leaving. Came and sat next to me. And he asked me to go to like homecoming. He asked me to go to homecoming with him. And I'm like, no. Why? Like, we look good together, blah, blah, blah. And he kind of said it. He was kind of like, we gone. He was like, I like you. He was like, he kind of initiated the whole, like, we gonna be together thing. I'm like, boy, who are you? Like, who are you? Like, it took me a minute to figure it out. Because, first of all, listen, this should have been my flag to not be dealing with the person at all. Because when I first went in, because he was that guy or whatever. But I'm not paying attention to it. I don't need to be friends with these folks. I'm trying to come in. I don't even want to be here. I'm trying not to skip first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth period. I don't want to be here. I don't care about what's going on. But the fact that we walked in first day and he already had drama with about 3 girls that was just out in the open. Like, one girl over here mad. I'm like, we mad? It was like, because of such and such. I'm like, who? Okay, whatever. Go to lunch, another girl mad about it. And I'm like, what is she, like, what? I'm just sitting there just observing, like, what's going on? And they like, because such and such. I'm like, who? It might have only been two girls, but 3. He ended up kissing somebody in the hallway, and the other one was mad because that one was his girlfriend. Like, how you got 3 relationships going on at the same school just because? And it's funny because in my mind it tells how big the school is. Like, you all the way over here in the wing where it's like strictly academics, that these girls won't really be on the side unless they in class. But it was such a it is the stuff that you would see on TV where it's like, how she didn't know about this one? Then the girl you talking to find out you kissed somebody all the way down the theater hallway, and then you got the girl at lunch crying because she thought I'm like, oh my gosh. So that should have been like, so whatever. Second day, boom, he asked me to homecoming. I'm like, sir, no. Why? I don't know you. He was like, you gonna get to know me. He was so confident. He was like, you going, you feel me? Cool. Whatever. I get home. This man called me. One thing I don't like, that I haven't liked since I was younger, don't give out my phone number. Ask me first. I don't care if it's not a emergency, and then even then still, I prefer you don't. But it has to be some dire thing. But then, if it's a dire thing and it's an emergency, you should already have my number. So just don't give out my number to people. I hate that. Came from just a childhood thing where my people used to always give my biological father like my information, and I used to hate because it used to always disrupt my peace. So I carried that with me, like, do not give my number without asking me first. Like, you're just opening up, like, don't do that to me. So I'm like, how you get my number? He was like, such and such, the girl that kept trying to get me to talk to him the first day. I'm like, oh, okay, so I'm gonna have a conversation with her because that's not okay. And he's on the phone, you know, trying to woo me, like, you know, spin game type shit, whatever. And I'm like, oh, okay. Wasn't really into it at that time still, because I'm like, you got 2 to 3, 4, you got girls running all around here acting crazy, crying, all kind of stuff. On the first, what happened? Like, what could have happened that fast? Because ain't no way you carry drama over from. I'm like, whoa, sir, you not ready for this. Because I'm not into that. I'm not fighting over nobody. I'm not gonna be running around here crying about nobody. I'm too mature. Okay, I told y'all I'm too mature for this. So cool. Now I don't remember. Well, okay, so school. Let's think about this. School in Michigan starts in what, like September? Valentine's Day is in like February. So by that point, I still don't think we were talking. Like, I don't know. Either way, I don't think we were talking. Or was it Sweetest Day? No, it was Valentine's Day. So that gap, October, November, December, January. So I still wasn't, we weren't like dating. We were like, at that point, we probably talked, we ended up flirting. You know, it comes around, and I think I had such an anxiety around the whole virginity thing in general, where it was like, don't do this. I don't remember having to talk with my mom. I actually asked her that in my recent years, like, why you ain't never had like the talk with me? And she's like, I did. And I'm like, when? And what was it? Because to me, you know what it was, and I know what it is. This is what parents do of women, of girls, not all of them, but this is the talk. Be safe, don't get pregnant. It's literally not even be safe. Let's take that. Don't get pregnant. And so for some reason that means use condoms. I mean, I guess the STDs don't matter. I don't know. I just feel like it's not an emphasis really on that. It's don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant, don't get pregnant. And as a hormonal young teenager, okay, I guess whatever. First of all, we not even like, seriously? And we thinking get pregnant, you get pregnant, whatever. And not, I don't think, maybe it's really just not whatever. I take that back, because I was not thinking that when I was a teenager, like, oh, if I get pregnant, no. Because for a long time, I was very big on, like, I don't know if I want to have kids to bring them into this kind of world. So I'm not saying that. I take that back. I'm saying it just turns out we're like, okay, just pull out. Pretty much. That's where pull out kind of come from. I feel like when you're teenagers, just hurry up and take it out. Or using kind of, you know what I'm saying? But parenting, the talk to parents out there, I feel like try to just have an honest, healthy conversation with your children, period. But I'm just going to say, as a girl, have healthy conversations with your girls about sex instead of it being something that's shameful. Because then we just hide it. We're going to do it. We're just going to hide it. Be more open, like really be honest about it and say, hey, okay, you're hormonal, blah, blah, blah. It feels good, yes. Talk about other things that come with it. Talk about the emotionals, like, and not being fake about it. Like, hey, yeah, you're going to feel euphoric, this and that. But the downfalls of it, the having sex too early with these boys that you're not really getting. You're not sitting down really, really getting to know a person when you're a teenager having sex. Like, you're not doing that. So have those conversations. Talk to them about attachments and healthy attachments and about their body. It's a lot of moms that don't even have conversations with their children about their bodies. I be watching stuff and it's like, whoa, like how a lot of women don't orgasm or know how to or know what it is or whatever until they're like adults, didn't even know it was a difference between like I don't think I can say that. Either way, they're not super familiar with their bodies in the way that they should be or we should be. It's just a really big emphasis on don't get pregnant. Like, even with STDs, if you want to scare, but being honest, like, hey, these are the options. Hey, even when you use protection, these things can still happen. Hey, these are the symptoms of this, and if you get herpes, AIDS, this and that, this is how it'll impact your life. Hey, I'm telling you not to get pregnant because, like, and it's usually just a scary thing, like, don't get pregnant. Why? Because you're going to have a kid. And kids are hard. And even if that was the case, it's like girls who do get pregnant when they're a teenager. You're a little hard-headed. It's like, I can figure this out. Boom, boom, boom. I'm me, this and that. Have honest conversations and not just, oh, because I said so. Oh, just don't get pregnant. Just trust me. Just trust me. Don't get pregnant. That's not how, I feel like we haven't, like, yes, you can do that as a fear tactic and it might work a little bit, but I think over time we should know that that's not enough. People tend to, or kids tend to, or people that don't have the right, because developmentally, I'm trying to think, like, who, like, I really don't know how to explain, but developmentally are not putting things together, are not gonna understand what you're saying. You're just saying don't get pregnant because it's hard. Don't get pregnant because who's gonna take care of it? Me. Don't get pregnant because, but he loves me. Like, you know what I'm saying? We always have a comeback for that. So our brains are not, we're not at that age, especially in teenage stuff, we're hormonal. Like, we have some kind of understanding, but we're still learning how to regulate our emotions. We're learning what emotions are okay. We're learning identity and individuality while also learning how to be social and be accepted socially. So it's like you gotta have real conversations. That's why I'm like, there's no way you had a conversation with me and I just don't remember it at all. It might have been high, honestly. Might have been fried. Anyway, I got way off track there. Anyway, yeah, I got so off track. Hold on. Okay, so boom. It was Valentine's, so it was the second day of school. So that's the gap between September starting and February. So we was probably just like talking. Or we might have stopped talking. I honestly can't even tell you, but I know that we hadn't had sex or nothing in between that time. So, like I said, okay, boom. I had a lot of anxiety around the virginity thing because everybody made such a big thing, like, oh, this now, our people. Or I was probably making it a big thing because I probably thought other people were making a big thing. I don't really know. I was just like, I would rather just get the first time out the way. Let's get it over with. And when I was in high school, I had really bad anxiety. I think I've had anxiety since I was young. So I was just like, get it over with. So even just putting myself in compromising positions or being super impulsive because of my anxiety, because I didn't want to feel that. So boom, the day before Valentine's Day or whatever. And again, obviously I was in therapy as a teenager, but so this is how it happened. I tell him, like, boom, that day, I'm like, boom, it's about to be Valentine's Day. And I just didn't want it to be weird. Like, I just wanted to get it out the way. And I think I ended up doing that in my adult years too, where it was like, just get it out the way. Like, sex-wise, like, I just do it kind of early just to be like, if it's not about the sex, then you'll stay around. You'll get to know. And this is kind of backwards, but it's kind of not. I still kind of feel this way, but I kind of don't. It's okay, if I decide to boom, 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 second week I know you, or I've been talking to you for a long time, and I do it the first or second time, whatever, and you skedaddle, you weren't supposed to be here anyway. I've definitely used it as a form of self-sabotage too, so that people would be not turned off, but then I could be like, keep it at arm's length, excuse me, because the potential of you not taking me serious might be a little higher if you're a man or whatever. So, well, let's get this out the way. So I hit him up like, boom, boom, boom. I'm trying to see what that everything do. You feel me? So hit him up. Yo, listen. This is why I say you got to be patient with your kids and your teens and stuff, because this was not rational at all. Whole house still awake. My mom, stepdad, brother. I think that might have been it, and maybe my stepbrother, but I'm not completely sure. So, boom, he gets there. My people, I think maybe one person downstairs. My other people are like on the couch. And so when you come in the door, so say you're in a condo, so you walk in the door, and as soon as you walk in the door, it is a bathroom right here. You go straight a little bit. You going down into the basement. You go to the left, that's your kitchen. And then if you go straight in, it's like a little step down. It's like the living room. And you have the upstairs, that's the banister. So we're going straight. So the banister is right before the living room couch. And the couch's back is face to the door. So he trying to figure out like how I'm going to get in. I'm like, I'm about to come get you through the front door. He's like, you're gonna do what? Where's everybody? I'm like, they around here somewhere. They chilling. Sit down. I don't know. He's gonna walk back. Like, come on. I'm telling you, I had to be. I used to be high as hell in high school, so I'm like, I had to be below or something. So boom, hurry up. He hurry up and get upstairs, and I'm like I didn't think about it at the time, but he definitely walked in past everybody. They was just having a conversation. I'm like, I'm talking to them too. Nobody turns around to even look at me. I was so unseen as a child and a teenager. No, but for real, like, I snuck a whole, was he 16 at the time? 16, 17, I don't know, 16, 17-year-old in the house, just walked up the stairs, boom, go in the room. And I think at the time I was sharing a room with my stepbrother. Shout out to him. I get in, lock the door. At that time, my little brother, he's a baby. 2 maybe? My brother, my biological brother, he's small. So my bed, I feel like when you walk in. So when you walk in, I gotta imagine this. The dresser's over here somewhere. Then my bed is like right here, shaped. Yeah, there's my brother's bed is like right here, faced like this way, where he would be laying facing the door, and then mine is laying is where I would be facing him. So mine is off in that right corner where the window is. So mom's cooking dinner. Mom's cooking dinner, all kind of stuff. So I'm like, dang, I need somewhere, because I think it was almost time. I think it was around that time where people was like about to go to sleep or something like that, I think. But at the same time, I just remember the house being so live, so that's probably actually not true. Yeah, so you know, my little brother, baby brother, running in and out, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to lock the door. And I think I told my mom, I'm like, oh, I'm about to go to sleep. That's how I got out of it. But before that, mom's cooking dinner. Everybody's eating. Everybody's in different places. She give whoever in the basement got their food, whoever over here got their food, whoever over here got their food, boom, boom, boom. So he's he's laying, because I didn't want to put him in the closet. So he's laying between the window and my bed. And y'all, it's like this much space in between. And remember, he plays football and stuff. So he's like, you know what I'm saying? But he's like laying like this in between until I can get everything situated and calm down so we can like do what we came here to do. You feel me? My brother's in the room. I'm talking to him. My mom comes in talking to her. I'm actually eating. Like at that point, I had got my food. I'm eating, talking to her, and he's down here, and I'm looking over like, this is some crazy shit, you know? And then I was like, you hungry? And he was like, sure. So I went and got food and let him eat on the side of the bed while he was stuck there. Yikes. So that happened, and then boom, eventually we ended up doing the do. You feel me? Oh, and it was winter time too. He definitely told me he like took his sister's car. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so I'm like, how you gonna get out? So I'm thinking, okay, you gotta go back down. But I'm like, okay, no, that's not gonna work. I don't know why I said no. I can't remember. So it's like outside the window, it's like bushes, but it was a lot of snow too to kind of, you know, help that fall. So I'm like, you gotta go. Like, get out. So he jumped out the window onto the bush, whatever, left. Boom. So I go to therapy after that, right? Cool. Boom. You're in therapy. I'm talking to my therapist, and I didn't like her. And I'm trying to think. She was probably my first therapist I ever had. But we're talking, and you know, we go to therapy, like, okay, what's new? What's happened since the last time? Boom, boom. So I tell her, like, yeah, I lost my virginity, blah, 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 blah. I did not tell her how. I did not tell her I snuck this man in and he jumped out the window. I didn't say all that. I just told her because that's a important, pivotal, turning point experience in one's life or whatever. So I'm just thinking, I'm talking. So I'm really thinking he might have been 17. Either way, or 15. Either way, I think it was only a 2-year gap though. I'm not gonna lie. It was one of those. So I tell her or whatever, and I'm like, okay, cool. You know, I'm not thinking nothing of it. Whatever therapy session went, how it went, boom, boom, boom. Because my mom didn't sit in my sessions with me or nothing like that. And when I'm going, again, first therapist, I'm a teenager. I'm thinking, hey, everything's gonna be cool. They said they can't tell nobody, but I'm also not thinking this is gonna happen. So I go home, and I'm gonna say maybe a couple days later, if that, whatever, my mom comes to me. I'm chilling. Like literally, I'm just chilling, just minding my business. And she's like, you got something you want to tell me? And I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, your therapist just called me and said that it's urgent and she needs all of us, or both of us, sorry, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with my camera. She needs us to come down and talk to her. She's like, Mom's like, did you try to self-harm, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. And I'm really dumbfounded, for real. I'm really like, what have I told this lady? So I'm like, it's not because of me then. I'm like, maybe it's not because of me. Maybe I talked about my relationship with my mom in there, and maybe she thought, I don't know. Honestly, I was sincerely confused because my mom's known of, I think, of some attempts and stuff, and I wouldn't be scared to tell her that. But I think I also knew the attempts that I did, my mom probably already knew about, and I didn't feel like nothing like that. And I don't think I really disclosed that to my therapist. I don't think I liked her enough to say, hey, I want you to know this one time I did actually do this, and that. I wasn't like detailed about it probably. So I'm really dumbfounded. Like, I'm like dumbfounded, sincerely. Yeah. So I'm like extremely dumbfounded. So I'm like, I don't know, whatever. So now I'm just like, I'm kind of irritated again, y'all. I'm like, I'm so mature. Like, I just don't like dealing with stupid stuff. So I'm sitting here like, bro, what is it? So we get there, we sit down. I go in first. Me first, by myself. And I'm like, I'm like, what's good? Like, you just really put me out of my super important teenage main character. Like, I don't have time for this. Like, I'm really like, bro, what do you want? And she's like, you know, you told me that you lost your virginity, blah, blah, blah. And the age gap, again, I can't remember if it was 13, 15, or 14, 16. I feel like it really was like 14, 16, or 14. It couldn't have been 17. One of those. And in Michigan, even if it's consensual, it is considered statutory R, right? Or can be. Or it might, I don't know if it just is. But at that time, I don't know how the laws are now. That's what it was. And I don't know that. I initiated it. And then I'm not thinking that, oh, it's the law. Oh my gosh, you're too. Because he literally goes to the same school, is what, 2 grades above me, right? I believe. So I'm like, nobody's thinking. I'm not thinking about that. Like, I'm genuinely not thinking about that. So I'm like, okay, what about it? And she's like, yeah, because of that. Like, because of the legality of it. It wasn't so much that I did it, because I don't think she could have disclosed that to my mom, like, oh, she had sex. I think it was the age. It was a discrepancy with the age. And I'm telling y'all, literally, it was like that. It was either 13, 15, 14, 16. So it was like something really close. It wasn't nothing. I promise you, it wasn't nothing crazy. I didn't even know this was a thing. So I'm like, okay, I'm thinking, because in my mature brain, I would have thought just, okay, we're still both under 18 and we're rather close in age. So I don't understand the problem. Whatever. So she's like, you know, and blah, 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 because, you know, so just because of that, I know, you know, we have to tell your mom. So how do you want to tell her?
I don't.
I don't. And she's like, well, we have to, blah, blah. No, we don't have to do nothing. I don't have to do nothing. I didn't ask you to be here. I trusted you. You tell her. Cool. So I'm sitting here. So now I'm facing her. My mom's over here in this chair. And she looks mortified. Like, she's like, because she's really waiting to figure out what is going on. Because I don't lie to her. So it's like, whatever. So she gets in there. Therapist goes, man, I wish I remembered that. Lindsay. I believe her. Like, I think her name was Lindsay. Lindsay. Anyways. So my mom sits there and I'm just sitting there and she's like, what is it? And I'm like, you tell her. Like, I didn't ask to be here. If I wanted to tell her, I would have told her. I came and told you for a reason. Let her have it, Lindsay. Tell her, Lindsay. And she's like, you know, she tells her, like, she had da. And then she probably, I think she explained to her why she had to tell her the age gap, blah, 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 boom. So I'm sitting there fuming. I'm sitting there tight now.
Good, bro. You geeking, bro. I'm good. Bro. But get hold of me. I'm good, bro.
Like, you just ruined my whole day. And you don't know my mama. She's gonna just, this is a lot, bro. I'm sitting there like, really, like, you don't understand how you have just, like, really annoyed the shit out of me. Like, teenagers and their parents already just, like, come on, bro. Come on. Why would you do this? Why would you do this? I'm not telling you shit else.
Fired. But
I tell you that. So my mom gets to asking questions. Oh, she asked me, was it true? I'm like, yeah. She was like, was it like a forceful thing? I'm like, no. I want to make it very, very, very clear that I initiated. Oh, I said nobody had to convince me. No, none of that. I asked for it. Trust me. Trust me. Because of the way it happened, my opening sneaks in my. I wanted it. I asked for it. That is that. But I didn't want to tell her what I did because I'm like, that's mad. Like, she's gonna be like, that's mad disrespectful.
Are you crazy? That shit is so disrespectful. So disrespectful.
So she's like, well, what is she asked me, where did it happen? I'm like, that don't matter. No, when did it happen? I'm like, whatever, it's a day ago or before, you know, whatever. I told her. Where? Because she's thinking like, before, what are you talking about? Like, we talking about how? How did that even, how? Like, where? And I'm like, no, mamacita, you don't want to know. No, I'm like, no, don't ask me that. I'm like, no. She's like, tell me, I'm like, no. She's like, tell me, I'm like, no. And she really was like, I'm like, seriously, I'm not telling you. And then she just kept asking me. I'm like, you really want to know, huh? Yeah, I was like, at the house.
How?
Like, it's like, question after question. Like, why is like 1 to 2 not enough? I'm like, oh, it's taking me back. It's so funny when I tell these stories, I really do have to put myself in the position, because I was really like, bro, are you serious? For real. So I'm telling her, because my mom's, listen, she gets threatening. She does a lot of stuff. And I just really didn't want to have issues for anybody else, especially because I'm like, I'm the one that initiated it. So I'm like, telling her, like, boom, he came through the front door. It's not happening. I was sitting there, boom, boom, how to get out the window. I just told her, and she was fuming.
That shit got me so hot! Shit got me so fucking hot.
I'm like, but you asked. Like, why'd you ask and you know you didn't, like, really want that answer? So obviously she was mad. She's like, it's disrespectful, blah, blah, blah. Then she wanted to know who it was and all that good stuff. And I'm not completely sure how she found out exactly who it was, but she did. And it was a shitstorm. And she, like, told his mom. And his mom is like, so. Like, not so, but she has sons. So she's like, I was waiting for a lot. She tried to really, like, take that shit far. She was like really adamant, like, are you sure you weren't taking, are you sure you weren't taking better, are you sure? And I'm like, bro, no, like, you're doing too much, honestly. But yeah, so that's really the video. For real, parents, have real honest conversations with your kids. Don't ever be pressured into, I'm not gonna tell you if it's a big deal or not to lose your virginity, but what I will say is, once you start, baby, unless you just don't like sex, but you start that young, it's hard to just stop. So me personally, I wish I would have waited a little bit longer, a bit longer. The person I ended up losing my virginity to, though, ended up being the parent of the only child that I have. High school sweetheart type shit. But if you can hold out, for real, hold out. Because there's a lot of emotions and stuff that comes with that, especially when you don't know all that comes with sex, when you already are trying to regulate your emotions and figure out who your friends are and what you are and what you like and this and stuff. Don't overcomplicate things. Honestly, always wait until you're ready. It's a lot of research to be done out here. Stay off them sites. Do real research if you're gonna do real research. But parents, have honest, open conversations with your kids. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it on that. Be safe out here. Don't walk nobody in your front door and have them jump out on stuff. That's just, I don't know. Listen. I've lived a lot of crazy experiences. So yeah, that's really pretty much it. So that's it. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share. Turn that notification bell on. Remember, you guys, you create your own narrative. Until next time, best friends. Bye.